shirts. Like we're like Starbursts.
Can I play like this?
I thought you said Skittles before. Or M&Ms.
What do they make blue of? M&Ms? Oh, there's a blue M&M.
Video footage.
So today is the last day that I'm gonna get to hang out with Jay Bates and Nick Ferry. So we decided to all three tackle the same exact project, but go about it in our own way. So today we are all gonna be making clocks. Stay tuned if you wanna see how I personally tackled it. Nick has some wonderful lumber suppliers in his local area, so we stopped by a few of them actually, and I picked up a nice board of spalted maple. Now this is my first time working with any sort of rough sawn lumber, but essentially I cut and planed down all of my different pieces to rough size. And then Nick decided it was a great time to bust a move. I mean, who am I to argue? I love how Jay is just completely oblivious. So before cutting my boards to length, I figured out where I wanted the top and bottom to start and end. That way I could keep some of that beautiful spalted figure. To be honest, making the clock was fun. It was very enjoyable. However, more enjoyable was getting the shared shop time with two other of my buddies. All three of us, of course, build stuff and make videos, but all of us have a different process for not only the shop and tools, but also all of the filming. So it was very enjoyable. For me, that was the best takeaway from this particular project. Okay, well, I guess getting back to the clock, it's put together with half laps, and also there's a rabbit on the inside for the inset panel to go in later. And I did all of this at the router table. The guy showed me a neat trick as far as putting a kind of scrap backer board behind my workpiece in order to prevent tear out and also just give it some stability as I'm moving it through the router bit. Now, of course, since I used a router bit, I have a round edge instead of a square edge. So to get them square, I used a chisel and a mallet in order to take away that material until they were at a 90. And of course, as I'm working on my clock, Nick and Jay were also working on theirs. So it was pretty fun moving around one another, especially with the 3 cameras and tripods. I hope I don't mess this up.
You're not gonna.
I might though.
Angle it down more.
Down this way? I was just about to start joining things together when the guys chimed in and said a bevel on the edges might give it a nice look. I must say, it's a small little detail, but I like the look that it gave the clock overall. So then next, I glued everything together and set it in clamps to dry. Then, while that was drying, I started working on the clock face. And Nick actually has a great technique for aging paper, so he walked me through his process.
Just a little. Remember, we're over an electronic router. Jeez, go closer to it. It's less splashy. Julia Child here. All right, crinkle her up.
Ow, I have a cut. Ow, in my hand.
Too bad. Chop chop.
Yeah.
I like soy sauce.
You like anything related to food?
Yeah.
Probably like a dirt.
The overall process is essentially water and soy sauce, a little bit of crinkle, and then dry it. However, Nick does have a in-depth video on his channel that I'll link below. After the clock face was dry, I Mod Podged it to a scrap piece of wood that I used as a backer board. And to give it some good texture, I finished it with an acid brush instead of the foam.
If you slop some more on there, that might give it some interesting texture.
Ah, good idea. Then it was just a matter of giving it a final sanding, breaking over the corners, and then giving it a few coats of spray lacquer. At this point, the clock face was dry so that I could cut the paper flush and insert it into the frame.
Perfect. That's a really nice friction fit. Very nice.
My original plan was to make the thicker portion the top of the clock and add some molding. However, I was very quickly running out of time, so I changed up the plan and made it the bottom. Well, then to take up the space so that it wouldn't look completely off, I added some hooks that I figure I could throw my keys on. I think I would have liked it better if I would have stuck with the original plan, but it was the very last day and I was completely out of time. Okay, so that wraps up my clock build. Now, be sure to check out Nick Ferry and Jay Bates' clock. I will leave you a link to their videos in the description below. Both of them made beautiful pieces. And if you aren't familiar with their channel, then be sure to subscribe because they put out excellent content. So I hope that you enjoyed the build, and I will see you soon.
See ya.
Yeah.
You need to go just a hair left, be in the center.
Don't get freaked out, but at the end I'm just gonna kind of go.
Okay.
That's weird.
Like today I'm in the
Hey, I don't need
master
help,
of
thank you.
ba-
So today we decided to all three build. Dun, dun, dun.
I'll just turn mine on silent too, just in case.
I'm crying on the inside.
You should be.
Yeah.
All right, wrap.